he was on like Tychus, he was on like Assassins, and then I think they
Right.
rotated him out over into Warrior, and I feel like they probably feel a little bit more comfortable with him on Warrior.
Yeah, I mean for me that's always been the weakness for Naventic. It seems like they have a really difficult time nailing down roles. Like
Mm,
they'll bring in these players who have a very high technical ability, but they don't necessarily play the heroes that their specific roster needs. And you
mhm.
start to see some growing pains there. So maybe Jason is the rock to lock that in. We do have the draft underway. Zagara and Falstad are the bans. Do Naventic go for Ariel here?
It would be pretty much what they go for every single time, and it's already what they're hovering, and they immediately go for Ariel. And so now Astral Authority has to have been watching the last couple of drafts. I'm curious to see if they know how to play this drafting against Naventic. They pick up the Muradin Lunara pretty much immediately.
I think that's smart. We talked about this in the first set, but first pick Ariel almost requires the enemy team to take either Lunara or Brightwing. I don't think you can reasonably afford at this level of play to allow Ariel to have too many synergies. Those are just some really potent heroes. Lunara adds a ton of hope. The poison damage adds to that pool for Ariel. Brightwing and Ariel feel like some kind of unkillable pairing, especially
Mhm.
past heroics. So I get those choices. Vala is selected for Naventic, who has undergone a rework. Have you had much play with her?
Played her
Experience with her?
in the PTR. What I really like Vala, like if you go for like the hatred build, which is really funny that now we have hatred and hope right next to each other. If you go for the hatred build and you get those stacks and you're able to just kind of stand still and just like you can just destroy everything. If you're able to stand still though, that's what I kind of felt with about Vala. I haven't tried her multi-shot build yet.
I haven't either. She feels more high stakes to me. Like, by virtue of you losing all of your hatred stacks once you haven't attacked for a certain time,
Hmm.
definitely puts you. It's almost like Greymane, where like you just have to get that combination to go like all the time, or else you just lose a lot of your damage. So Naventic has the skill to pull it off, though. ETC is the lock-in. Second ban phase. No Tyrande shenanigans.
I'm thinking that they are going to go for the auto attack build because they picked up ETC. They have now Rockstar, which is ETC's passive. Anytime he casts an ability, everybody around gets a 20% attack speed buff. It's going to work really well with hatred stacks if they go for that. So I'm curious to see if that's going to be the build they go for, given that they already picked up ETC. Morales gets banned out. Don't want to see any sim drones. Double A, what are their picks?
Ban out Morales. Again, they look to potentially deny the Ariel synergy. They've taken Lunar earlier. They do lock in Brightwing. Naventic has shown that they know how to play Ariel and Karazim to great effect. Equinox does get his Kerrigan, so they do have the engage there. Depending on these last two picks, I'm wondering if solo support Brightwing is going to be enough.
I have to imagine they're picking up enough support with Brightwing. I don't think we've seen. Yeah, we have. We have seen solo Brightwing today. A Tychus pick would be really weird, though. They're hovering that they do go for it. Interesting. Maybe they're worried about a second warrior coming in the bottom half of this draft. But with the Tychus pick, Vala pick, oh no, you know what? This is a whole bunch of auto attack stim.
Could it be? Sart, if you're still in the chat,
Oh my
could
god.
it be?
No way.
Could it be secondary support Lily on the horizon for Astral Authority?
Oh, I was thinking a different direction.
Or I'm. What were you thinking? Don't be scared. Go. You can tell. You can tell. You can tell me anything, man.
Cortanus.
Ooh. Oh my. Well, I mean, Artanis is kind of bugged these days.
Oh.
His
I haven't really
shield.
played him that much. So I
His
played good
shield
heroes.
doesn't stack like it used to. So before.
I don't know if you heard me. You didn't. That's great. I'm glad.
Wait, what?
So I don't really play him anymore because I only play good heroes.
Oh! Ouch.
It's okay.
See,
I know we were friends. I know we are no longer. I'm fine with this.
Rip.
I
mean,
have
right
issues.
now he's not in a good spot. Because his shield doesn't stack like it used to. You used to be able to get a whole other shield while your existing one was on. And towards the late game, he was very difficult to take down. But now you don't get a new shield until your current one goes away. So you can be bursted down pretty hard. So,
bottom half of the draft, Karazim picked up here for Naventic, double support. You called it. Double A goes for Li Ming as the last pick. We've seen a very similar composition come out from Nice. Game number 1 on Towers of Doom, where they went for solo support Brightwing, a lot of burst. Didn't work out for them, though.
No, it's hard to say it did. I gotta move these names.
Moving names. So that's what I'm kind of curious about. What is going to happen here with Double A's? I should really start calling them Astral Authority, but on the draft they were labeled as Double A. Anyway, we are now into the game, ladies and gentlemen. Over here on the left-hand side, it is none other than Naventic in the blue. Jason on DC, Big Impact on Ariel, Tomster on Tychus, Zuna on the Vala, and Kenma rounding out on the Karazim.
Over on the right, we got Astral Authority. You're going to have Equinox playing Kerrigan, Batteries on Murden, Dark Chimera playing Brightwing, Talk of Trees on Li Ming, Frozen X playing Lunar. Let me update this. I have to change that from a 1 to a 0.
So we already see a little bit of a divergence from how Naventic generally plays their Kerrigan. This is Astral Authority now going for Siphoning Impact, so we're going to see the Ravage build come out here from this Kerrigan, which is interesting. I believe we saw a completely different build come out from Tomster's Kerrigan, and I actually wanted to point that out when I watched it happen, where he went for the increased width on Impaling Blades at level 1, and then I believe the Cleave at level 4. But I didn't actually get a chance to make a note of that while we were casting that game.
I don't know. Stormbolt just missed on Zuna, who does have the Burger King count for the moment. They're going to rotate up top. Karazim, Brightwing, support standoff in the bot lane. Equinox jumps in, power slide from Jason. He does get out. Rotation towards the top. Looks like a 1-4 rotation committed from both sides, but Astral Authority looking to get this party started early. Zuna is not going to be able to get out of here. First takedown on Vala.
Jason taking a good amount of damage, does have to disengage. We have Talking Trees going forward with the teleport. Not going to actually happen with another takedown, but at least the first takedown going in their favor is looking pretty good. And that's going to allow them to have some pretty good top lane dominance. In fact, it looks like they want to take down this tower before the shrines even start up. Sorry, temples.
They should be able to if they continue to apply the pressure. The first temple's going to be up. Set of temples right now. Looking at the towns real quick. Transcendence, Hot Pursuit. Rolling like a stone Q build so far. Getting value out of that. Jason slides into position on Battery. He is able to Dwarf Toss out, but that's a lot of damage. It's going to bait out the early well. Kerrigan combo helps him get out of there.
Talking Trees and Frozen X holding out that top temple and just wailing away on that top fort as well. Naventic looks like they're just going to be happy with grabbing the middle temple as well as rotating up here. Are they potentially... At least they're just warding away Talking Trees from being able to put down some extra siege damage. And they might actually go for the engage here. Level 4 to level 3.
Yeah, scary. Passive benefit out of Brightwing, who is going to teleport up here now. Kerrigan combo is there, available. Lands this Polymorph follow-up. Tomster half health. Equinox on the retreat. Dark Chimera low on mana, or low on health. Power slide is back up. Might get 2 kills, it does.
Wow, and that was a 5v4 too. Ooh, they pick it up with the frag grenade.
Kobe.
That was awesome.
Tomster was like, fadeaway jump shot, 20-footer, swish.
I can't believe they lost that fight. It was 5v4, and the beginning of it, it was 3-4 in levels. Yet Naventic was still able to clean that out. Kenma was able to grab all of the shots in the temple in the middle, I believe, or at least a good amount of them. Then he rotated up after the fight, and they were still able to win and pick up both the end of the temples.
I'm telling you, man, Team Naventic are one of the best team fighting like units in North America. You try to take them on 5-on-5, you're losing at least somebody in those cases.
And the scary part is they didn't even take it on 5v5. It was 4v5.
That's scary, man.
It's very scary.
You're going to see Astral Authority go down in the bottom right corner of the map, get the siege camp, get that party started. In the top left corner, Kinema and Zuna, brothers, have gotten the bruiser camp. They're electing to wait. It's a sound strategy. Look at this little standoff going on the top lane. Dark Chimera and Big Impact both just kind of hanging out in this bush like, who's going to show?
Shh, they don't know that I'm getting experience. Well, the other one's thinking, shh, they don't know I'm getting experience. Yeah, it's kind of funny. I'm just sitting here literally just watching this. There's tons of other things going on in the map. They're grabbing bruisers. There's rotations. Level 7s have been grabbed here by Naventic. They picked up multi-shot builds mostly. We see Punishment and Arsenal getting picked up there for the Vala. But Hot Pursuit is still the level 1 talent there. So a little bit of Hatred Reliance. Oh my god, they found Big Impact. Will he be able to get the takedown here? I think so.
He's out of hope. Zuna is in position, gets the Burger King crown, and look how much hope he got in that short amount of time. Burst damage from Vala helps him out with that. Both teams are level 7. Kerrigan combo. Not the most value to be had ever out of this bruiser camp for Naventic, but next temple phase is going to be up. Can they try to make something happen in this top lane before rotating down?
That's a really hard question here. I mean, already we've seen Naventic in the bottom lane, though. I mean, if they can get as much as they can in the top lane, that'd be great. But bottom lane going so solidly over to Naventic right now. Able to do a lot of damage with those Siege Giants and just a general push. And now they already pick up the start, getting the temple shots going down onto bottom lane here for Astral Authority.
Rotation down. You see Ariel and Vala jockeying for position. Brightwing again getting value. Able to soak Frozen X out front, risking themselves potentially. Battery goes in, tries to contest this bottom temple. It's about to get interesting.
It is. We have the Brightwing now starting to come in. Equinox looking to get the engagement started. Battery really low in health, but they are going to be able to turn in and take out Battery very quickly. The team just did not collapse upon the rest of Naventic at all. In fact, they kind of just played it very safe, and Battery was just in a really awkward position there. This is going to allow Naventic to just have this very solidly 9.5, so close to level 10. As soon as this fort goes down, it's going to be probably 10 for them.
When you play against a team like Naventic, your execution has to be crisp and precise. Battery going in there a hair early gave them all the time necessary for Naventic to burn him down and left Astral Authority in an awkward, staggered position. I feel like Murden and Kerrigan have to go in there exactly at the same time, and the burst from Li Ming has to be there in that window if they want to try to take some of these team fights.
And that's exactly like the scary point here is, all right, well, you were on an even keel, and it's not going to actually allow you to do that much if you're going to kind of throw it away, and now they're level 10 to level 9. So it was a little awkward here. That allowed Naventic to be hyper-aggressive. They were able to go down, take that bottom fort, and then take the middle fort, too. So now Naventic's sitting in a really great siege spot.
They are enjoying themselves for sure. I can tell you that one. Jason and Equinox over at the Watchtower battling for vision. Jason, he's adapted. He might have power slid out earlier before, but now he's waiting for his team to great effect overall. You're going to see 3 members of Astral Authority rotate down towards mid and just try to catch up on some soap. Both teams had their heroics. You're going to have Maelstrom, Avatar, Emerald Wind, Wave of Force. They just interrupt for Mosh Pit and Thornwood Mine.
Yeah, very, very good call to go for Wave of Force over Disintegrate. I mean, I love Disintegrate to death, but Wave of Force is just so undeniable, especially when you get that level 20. Oh my god, Wave of Force becomes so much more fun. And it's going to be really nice, just in general, just to have as much disruption as possible, because when you're working with a Kerrigan, you want to just disrupt the rest of the enemy team no matter what. They're going to jump in onto the Ariel. Big Impact is going to use the Aegis to stay alive for a little bit longer. The laser is going to go down. Equinox, but trying to get on out of there. Battery really low in health, but short on his tail. Jason and Kenma very close to being able to take him down. They're trying very hard here. It's kind of like it's starting to pop, but Jason does get the power slide right on in there, and they're able to finish off Muradin. Tomster now really low in health due to Lunara poison, but not going to be enough to actually take him down as Big Impact and Kenma kept.
I know Talking Trees was hoping to get some resets off of that. I mean, he was able to position himself well to land that flank, good amount of damage. We're not able to pick anybody up. Still 5 takedowns to 1. They are in position, however, to get this middle temple. So we're going to go ahead and do that. Down in the bot lane, Naventic are picking up the bottom one. Still overall advantage Naventic.
Yeah, this is where, like, Naventic is just... They're perfectly fine with not engaging right now. Because a lot of the heroics are just starting to come up right now, and they're just going to wait for level 13. Like, they know that their opponents aren't going to get level 13 anytime as soon as they are. So they're like, alright, we'll just pick up this temple, we'll lose a fort or two, and that's fine. But we'll have the level 13 advantage, we'll have the map advantage for a longer period, and we can just use that to greater effect.
This is not the position you want to be in if you're on Astral Authority. We've talked about this already. Naventic excel in team fighting. You do not want to be down talent tiers against a team like this. But for the moment, Team Naventic has not ventured across the map looking for an engagement. Maybe this is more maturation of their strategy.
And that's where I think that's where we really are starting to see the new age of Naventic, where they're not looking for those team fights. You're completely right. I think this is where we start to see Naventic play the slower, steadier, more strategic games. I wonder if that was a lesson in humility when they lost to Murloc Geniuses during the regional number 2, where they're like, all right, we need to start focusing a little bit more on our strategy, not just team fights.
I mean, it's worked out for them so far. They look much stronger here than they did in PAX West, I feel. Mm-hmm. I'm looking back at the heroics. I didn't realize that Vala took Strafe.
Yeah.
I'm surprised at that. I thought they might have had more value out of the added lockdown of Reign of Vengeance, especially now it's a more dynamic heroic. But if they land the right power slide and the Mosh combination, I guess Strafe can do some work.
Yeah, I think Strafe is going to do a lot of damage if you are able to do it for free, right? Like, if you're able to be a Vala and you're in a position where it's just... you're not going to get disrupted through it. They don't really have too many ways to disrupt it, I think. Like, not easily. Kerrigan would have to land an amazing... oh, I'm sorry. There's a whole team fight going on. ETC actually going to go down. Wow, actually, that went really well here for Astral Authority.
Zuna caught forward. That strafe did not pan out. Actually just kind of locked them into an awkward position. You're going to see the follow-up as well on ETC. Chase is not over. Equinox leaps out, showing his expertise on Kerrigan. Nets a 3-0 takedown, and they're going for the boss.
I was staring at the other side of the map. I was like, nobody's going to be team fighting right now. And then I look over, I was like, what are they doing over there?
Oh, my.
This is going to be a really good spot here for Astral Authority. Now they're able to pick up the boss and these temple phases. There's a good amount of time here before Kemba's going to be back up and ready to go.
And with the boss applying pressure in the bot lane, the prioritization is going to be difficult at best for Naventic. Big Impact does get a good amount of shots. Oh, Tomster on Tychus gets a few shots off of there, just shows himself before leaving. He knows he's outnumbered, doesn't stick around there for too long. Little bit of action here in the mid lane, though.
Yeah, we're fighting at the temple. This is going to be Naventic taking it for a little bit of time here, and this is a really good spot for them because they need to be together, and if they can take this next team fight, I think the biggest problem with that last little scuffle was that they were all separated. But now that they've got everybody together, ooh, a 7-side strike coming on in here, doing a good amount of damage. Are they actually able to lock anybody down here? Thompson going into the backline, trying to take out Frozen X, and that's going to ward him away for a good amount of time here. Equinox going in, but really way too far forward. He's going to be completely isolated by himself, and he will get deleted.
Ambitious. That was an ambitious engagement on the side of Equinox. Jason is playing ETC. He does have power slide that could go against you, and Equinox finds that out. Both of these temples now well in hand for the members of Team Naventic. Both teams are level 16, though. Another thing that I will point out, Zuna used Strafe in that team fight, and it didn't really net them that much.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Strafe wasn't the best pick. Could have been a misclick, even. I'm kind of curious about that, too. I'd love to hear his reasoning on it, but right now, maybe he's going to get some more worth out of this. I mean, there's a couple of situations where Strafe does a lot of good work. But yeah, I'm really interested in the new Reign of Vengeance as well. Look at this, Naventic backing on up. I'm afraid of going into a team fight right now. I mean, granted, because Zuna's all the way at the bottom lane, but...
yeah, being without all their firepower there, I do think that was the smarter call. I mean, in general, I feel like Strafe is best used as a closing heroic. Like when people are low and they're starting to try to back out, that's when you pop Strafe. But that isn't really how Naventic plays. Like they look to put burst damage on people and blow them up, lock them down. I just feel like there would have been more meat on the bone for them if they took Reign of Vengeance.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, but at least for now, they're not losing the games. Strafe isn't the worst choice. There's some of those heroic choices where, all right, maybe you just threw the game because you picked that.
I'm looking at the talents. Both teams do have their level 16s. Experience pretty much even. Imposing Presence did undergo some changes. It's a lot more dynamic talent overall. You can believe Lunara and Kerrigan both are looking out for that. Mirror Ball was picked up for Li Ming. Starwood Spear for Lunara. Not too bad, not too bad.
Essence for Essence. Interesting. Going to be able to melt that ETC a little bit quicker, as well as gain a lot of shields really quickly. That's going to be really great for that burst. Like, you kind of want to get a lot of assimilation shields very quickly when you jump in and you pop your Maelstrom. That's going to be pivotal for that. That's pretty cool. I don't think I've actually really ever used that talent myself, and I've kind of, now that I see it, I'm like, why did I never use that talent? I should probably use that one more.
Next temple phase is going to be here. It's a single temple affair in 20 seconds. Bruiser camp gets cleared out. Both camps are taken presently. Battery anticipating the rotation towards the vision. Naventic isn't exactly falling for the bait there just yet.
Yeah, and you can already see the response here from Astral Authority. They see that they were waiting for somebody to rotate top while they had the vision. Didn't happen. Naventic instead forcing Astral Authority to respond to them instead by pushing down that mid lane. I really like that call. It's kind of we're not going to do what you want to do. You're going to do what we want you to do. And it's putting the pressure and the scare on the possible of grabbing this keep, because that's not what you're going to get from this temple if you get even all these shots. So they have to actually respond to Naventic instead, and that's exactly what they're doing. We're seeing Battery getting the phase shift coming in there from Dark Chimera. Start of the engagement.
Naventic's committed. 7-sided strike. Laser goes down. Murden goes away. Laser is finally taken down, but the damage is already done. Naventic is just going to start backing up. There's still a good amount of shots left on the top temple, so now they can rotate up towards the map objective and try to look for the first keep, or they'll power slide in on Lunara to see if they can get more kills.
And we can already see that immediate pop of Essence for Essence on through Equinox going on to ETC. But oh my god, Naventic able to clean up so much here. And with 4 members down, 40 seconds before 3 members of the team are going to be back up, I think this is Naventic going straight for core on game number 1. Level 20 has been grabbed for them. And what a crazy turn in events right there. I thought that was going to be Astral Authority setting up a really good gank, but Naventic forcing their hand.
If this was a LAN champ too, I feel like Zuna would be looking at me dead in the face right now. Like, I was questioning the strafe pickup, but that bad boy mopped up pretty much everybody on the side of Astral Authority. I stand corrected. I stand corrected.
That was an immediately awesome play there from them. They just kept rotating in and out too. Like, Jason took a lot of damage, got back out, came back in, got back out, came back in. They were able to rotate their team so perfectly. That was really good play there by Naventic, able to clean up that whole entire team fight and take game number 1, forcing Astral Authority now to match point.
Loser of this set does drop down. They would not be entirely out of it, but the winner would continue on. Naventic continues to play sharply. I mean, Astral Authority held their own, stayed in it, but these team fights, it just feels like Naventic has the edge on them.
Does. So I'm kind of worried about what Astral Authority is now going to think about. I mean, like, this is something we brought up when Naventic was fighting against Nice, and we were saying, hey, Nice has to come up with a different way to handle this because Naventic's going to win the team fights. So you got to look at what are your strategies going to be. Watching the fight again, actually, right now on your stream. The healing potential from Ariel and Karazim put together was really pivotal, too. I'm just watching people's health bars go immediately down and then right back up again.
Value to be had. Yeah, I'm looking at the replay as well. Watch that strafe go in. Clean up aisle 3.
Yeah, right. That was that was really key. I mean, just in general, the whole entire team fight, just Naventic walked away with it with full health, man. Full health. That double support, no joke. No joke. New meta. Old meta.
Value. Next game, presumably getting set up. I did not see what the map picks were. So who's to say? Curiously enough, Sham, we have not casted Infernal Shrines yet.
We haven't. It's kind of weird.
Right? It's a mainstay. It's a staple. Guess it's just kind of showing these teams like, hey, all right, you're going to have to play a little outside your comfort zone, perhaps. Just kind of a check on that front.
I mean, maybe it's just like, maybe it's the evolution, you know, we're seeing, I mean, so on one hand, Naventic is kind of playing a lot of picks that seem to be comfort picks, but it seems like they're kind of drafting and playing maps a little bit outside of what's comfort for standard NA. So maybe that's just, you know, this is the evolution of NA is now not going to keep going to comfort picks, comfort maps. Maybe we're going to start going a little bit more crazy, a little bit more EU, where they start doing things a little bit more drastically, different maps all the time, different compositions all the time. I'm kind of curious.
If any of the teams we're casting today hears this, hear me out. I want to see the milk carton. I want to see the milk carton. If you can make that, you would make my afternoon for certain. I wouldn't even be mad if we saw the tether ball, Sham, too. Wouldn't even be mad. Wouldn't even be mad at the tether ball. Getting an invite into the lobby now from Man Mode, our lovely admin. Thank you. I will invite you as well. Oh, see?
Oh, I'm already ahead of you. And Tomb of the Spider Queen.
All right. I like casting this map.
Me too.
This one's going to be exciting because this, in my opinion, is a more team fight oriented map in that it's small, it's easy to rotate between the lanes, you can stand to be significantly aggressive. This is something that obviously Naventic enjoys. At the same time, Equinox on Astral Authority is no stranger to aggressive play either. So it's kind of like a little bit of a Clash of the Titans sort of situation going on.
It is, and on a map like Tomb of the Spider Queen, things get a little bit different, right? Like compositions, what you want to do in terms of strategy are a lot different from what you want to do on Sky Temple. Like this is where we start thinking about how specialists are incredibly important on this type of map. And so you have to start changing up how your composition looks entirely. Like Zul, Zagara, Sylvanas, these are all really strong picks here. We didn't see any of those people picked up in the last game, so now we're going to have to change composition, change a little bit of the drafting strategy. We're probably going to still see Ariel get first picked. But past that, where do we go?
Milk carton.
Milk carton.
This is a map where it works. You hook somebody, gorge them, that portal goes down, and they're gone. It's guys, if we could make this happen, we could just do this for me, for the kid in the back. See the milk cart. But Astral Authority is ready. Naventic will be ready, presumably. Astral Authority will be starting to draft here, so they'll have first ban, first pick. Mm-hmm. Do you think we'll see Sylvanas?
I think sooner. We saw in the draft Zagara and Zul getting banned out over Sylvanas. Now, the reason behind that, I think Zul has a little bit more synergy for team fights. And Zagara, of course, is just undeniably annoying as a specialist. Though she did get a handful of nerfs. So I'm kind of curious about where she sits priority-wise. I feel like she's probably still very strong. I don't know what her damage numbers are now, because it used to be like
up there.
You used to just like see a Zagara in lane and you'd be like, I am alone. Nope, I even have two heroes here. I don't want to fight that, guys. Let somebody else fight that.
I think I would still go for the Zagara ban here. If anything, just because of the map. Vision is important. If Zagara is able to spread that creep around over the turn ends, it's near impossible for you to get a turn in yourself. Knowledge is power. Knowing's half the battle. G.I. Joe. So I would look to, if I'm Astral Authority, I would start this ban out. If I wanted Zul or Sylvanas, I would ban out the other one. Force Naventic into a position where they ban out Zagara. They have to ban out Zagara, or I take Zagara, or I take the others, the specialist. That one.
Yeah.
That's just me. But we're about to find out.
We are. We are now into the picks and bans, and that's, again, it's going to be the Astral Authority ban, and they're taking a little bit of time to think about this, too. They're not even like, it's not like a quick ban. Like, they've been sitting here chatting about this probably just now, thinking about what do we do for first ban, and they're still thinking about it. And it's going to be Zul.
They do ban out Zul. Now in the Naventic, they're in a position, they're like, well, Sylvanas and Zagara, they're going to get one of them. Which one do we really feel like dealing with? If I'm Naventic, I ban out Zagara. I've been winning team fights all afternoon. I've been looking strong. It's going to be hard for you to get value out of Sylvanas if you're dead.
I mean, it's kind of hard to get value out of anything if you're dead.
So it's like, I mean,
Can't
it
turn
would
in those
almost...
coupons.
Right. It's almost like a trap. It's like, all right, you get Sylvanas because you feel like you're going to get these web weavers, but it's going to be hard to turn in gems if you're dead. And they ban out Zagara.
Yeah, so this is going to be either Sylvanas or... Ooh, no, they're still go for Ariel. It's so weird. Like, there's some strategy in this draft that is avoiding me. Why would you ban out two specialists and then nobody pick specialists at the beginning?
I think neither one of these teams want to get cheesed.
Yeah.
Like, so the bans were meta-conscious, map-conscious. The picks are player-conscious.
Mm-hmm.
Kerrigan's going to be picked up here, presumably it does. Equinox goes for that. ETC to follow up. Astral Authority says, all right, if you want to, you guys are aggressive. If you want to do it, you're welcome to try, but you're going to have your work cut out for you.
So we see the Kerrigan ETC getting picked up, and that's just one of those really scary combinations on this map. There's so many small little choke points that ETC and Kerrigan can really take advantage of, that this is going to be one of those 4-hero roaming gank squads that's just death, right? Thrall's going to be able to handle that bottom lane, but now they have a Lunara who's really easily chunked, and when you have 3 different heroes that, can throw out some sort of crowd control, Lunara is now a liability.
We're going to see what kind of support Naventic goes for, and they have not been shy about using double support. They did most of their work with Ariel in their arsenal for that, so I'm wondering if they're going to stray towards something else. Going into the second ban phase now, and Naventic are really thinking about this. There's support, damage, and a tank already selected. Now Naventic just says, like, what do we not feel like dealing with? Looks like they're going to ban out Li Ming, presumably.
Yeah, they're running out of actually bonus pool right now. They're really close to not having any bonus pool left for the rest of the entire... I think you have to ban quick. There we go. There's going to be Falstad taken out here. That's going to be a Li Ming banned out on the other side. So Astral Authority also saying, I don't want to feel like dealing with a Li Ming. Curious. But we're going to see Naventic now up with their last... with these next 2 picks. And I'm kind of curious to see what they're going to go for. They need a warrior. They need a support. They could go for something like a Tassadar. I feel like a Tassadar would be really good here.
It's definitely an option. They've done work with Tassadar. They got to pick their time pool is out. So they're gonna go for Greymane? They go for Greymane, okay. Tassadar definitely makes a lot more sense here. If I was Naventic, I would have heavily considered Sylvanas. Reason being is Zuna, back in the day, was very well known for his Sylvanas play. Being able to lock down structures along with potentially Nature's Culling for Lunar at 7. That could be lights out as far as siege damage goes, but they go for Morales. Cool.
I'm about to sneeze.
Oh,
Maybe. Nope. Okay, we're good.
Nope.
Sorry. It's Lunara again. She triggers my allergies every single time. Morales is a really great pick here. I was, as soon as I saw the Greymane pick, I'm like, they need a support who's going to heal the hell out of them because they can't go for anything lower than that. Because with Greymane Thrall, Lunara, they don't have a warrior. They need something they need a solo support that's just god tier at heals. Mm-hmm. So Morales is going to be so good for that. However, seeing the Kerrigan on the other team is scary. So Thrall's going to have to sit there and just babysit Morales and don't walk away from me, please, medic. Like, just stay right here. Kerrigan comes. I will fight away the evil, scary tentacle woman.
It could I mean, I'm gonna go a different way for this Morales pick. I feel like if there was a way to B-step in draft, it was pretty much taking Morales into ETC Kerrigan. Like, you were just saying, I am so confident that you are not going to get to me. I'm going to take the most concerning support in the game for engage. Like, if they jump on... Oh, I love this choice. I was wondering if they're going to try to box Naventic out of Warriors and go double Warrior.
They are.
Do just that.
And that's a great call, too, because now they have the Muradin to cut down the damage from the auto attacks. That's Greymane, Thrall, and Lunara's entire MO. So now you have a Greymane and a Thrall that have to go into a reverberation from Muradin. Good luck.
Johanna's the last bastion as far as control tanks go. They do lock that in, presumably.
I mean, they kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, there is no other option. There is no other option. So, I think that this is sensational drafting on the side of Astral Authority. They identify that Naventic is a auto attack heavy team, so they pick up Muradin. Reverberation at level 4 if that's to pick up. He has the attack slow in his base kit these days. But ETC could also potentially go for imposing presence at level 16 and really slow down the damage production of Naventic. So I like that.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think that was a really great adaptation to what Naventic did. So I'm curious to see how much they're going to be able to get done, though. I mean, they don't really have... They have a really weird composition for damage on Astral Authority, though, right? And they have to deal with the Morales. So, wow, this is going to be really difficult. Like, they're going to have to kill that Morales before they can kill anything, I think. Because otherwise, they're just in this really awkward spot where, I mean, Kerrigan and Sylvanas is really long-term sustained damage. Medic heals that out, no problems. Kerrigan is really good burst damage, but if somebody doesn't die, the Morales is just going to get them back up before they can actually kill anything. So, I don't know. It's a really weird spot.
Their Obi-Wan, their only hope is to just full YOLO engage Morales and hope that Crystal Aegis keeps Naventic's target alive.
Mm-hmm.
They could do it. I mean, Muradin and ETC are a thick front line to consider.
It is.
And they also have tools, especially late game, to slow down the auto attack speed of Naventic, which is what they effectively rely on for damage. I think in a lot of ways, Astral Authority came away with this draft.
All right, we will see. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get on to the game. Spawning over here on the left-hand side in the blue. Just Team Naventic, Zuna on Greymane, Thompson on Thrall, Kenma on the Morales, Big Impact on Lunara, and Jason on the Johanna.
Over on the right side, we got Astral Authority. Dark Chimera is on Ariel. Equinox is playing Kerrigan. Frozen X on Sylvanas, Talking Trees. Who's this guy? Muradin. Then Batter on ETC. I mean, when they bunch up, it's hard for me to see.
I know.
So I just hit the tab. It's like, all right, I'm just going to hit the tab button. Like, I'm done.
I got you. All right, so we're going to see with everybody going into the middle of the map, how this is going to start kind of spelling out how this game's going to go. Interesting as hell. First pick, Scouting Drone on Morales.
Vision is important on this map. I was not expecting that when an all Kerrigan combo goes down. Doesn't net anything. Big impact, moving forward, applying pressure, and Equinox is able to get back without too much of a counter proposal. Not bad.
This is going to be the name of the game here. I feel like everybody's just going to walk around in giant 4-hero rotations. A lot of damage going down onto Jason, but not enough to get through Kenma's ridiculous amount of healing coming in from Lieutenant Morales.
4-man rotation continues to be tight-knit for Naventic. They rotate down towards mid. Grenade goes out to slow down any advancement from Astral Authority. Battery at half health. He doesn't hit the well just yet. Uses Z. ETC does have some self-sustain in his kit. Down in the bot lane, Murden versus Thrall. Pretty even matchup overall, I'd say.
Yeah, they've been kind of like going back and forth a little bit. Kind of a boring lane, but with everybody gone away from the Shroud, it seems like Tomster immediately knew that something was up, so he played a little bit more defensive. I really like that. Equinox getting body blocked and deleted. Battery now trying to get on out of here. Don't know if it's going to be possible. He is going to be charged until he's dead. He's going to go away, and it's going to be a nice 2 pickup here for Naventic.
Man, that body block was dead wrong from Naventic. Like, Equinox was like, excuse me, guys, I'm trying to get by. And they were like, we know. We know. But we're fine right here. Second takedown of the game for Naventic. Heavy rotation still. You're going to see Grayman in the top. 3 members of Naventic mid. Equinox throws a combo out, just clearing out the lane. He's like, just trying to spook you a little bit.
Talking Tree's letting his lane push. I'm kind of curious to see if that's going to be leading up into a gank later on. But Tom's backwalks into the Shroud. I don't think Muradin can really handle Tomster too well. But with Equinox joining the fight, holding off on the grasp into blades, and they will be able to get that takedown.
Patience is a virtue. Kenma does rotate down in time to make sure not too much soak is missed, if any. But I feel like Muradin, he's not going to kill Thrall. He's not going to force him back, but his passive should at least allow him to sustain and hold without hitting the well. Ravenheart's back. Power slide goes out on Zuna. Bunch of damage. Face melt follow up. Battery sticking his neck out there for real to try to get this kill, but Equinox from off the top rope gets the kill. Johanna gets netted as well.
Some really good play there from Astral Authority, knowing exactly who to take down immediately. And now they've got a lot to turn in. I don't think it's going to be a full turn in just yet. No, we have a little bit more time before that. But they are sitting in a really good spot. Level 6 about to get grabbed from them. And with Sylvanas, and this is the great thing about Sylvanas, anytime you get a little bit of an advantage, you can get a siege advantage. As soon as you just, like, get back on the map.
I mean, Astral Authority, in my opinion, they have to win the early game based off of composition alone if they want a shot at this. And so far, I feel like they've been doing it. You gotta watch your positioning if you're on the side of Naventic, because you can get your postage stamped immediately by a power slide. You're gonna see Big Impact trying to turn in this top 18. Can he do it? Yep, he gets away with it.
This is where we're going to see a lot of them just trying to turn this in. Talking Tree's going to finish off the rest of the 50 gems. Equinox yet again in that awkward position. Getting body blocked, getting locked down, getting destroyed. Jason getting healed up here by Kenma. Just abominable. Talking Tree's also going to go down here, and we're going to have a really good fight come out there from Naventic. It's going to mitigate a lot of the usefulness of these web weavers coming out for Astral Authority.
Yeah, when you lose a couple of heroes like that, it's got to be tough. Equinox, again, feels a little bit of deja vu. He's just like, I've been here before. And Naventic was like, yes, you have. You're getting body blocked to death. It's fine. It's okay. Level 7 is picked up by both teams. Naventic doing a good job melting down this metal wood weaver, as well as the top.
They want to do a little bit of damage on Kenma. There was the power slide from Battery. Not able to do enough. There's Problem Grasp into Blades onto Jason. And Battery, really low in health, is going to go down here. Our Chimera was not up there in time. Also taking a lot of damage. There's Problem Grasp yet again. Big Impact taking a lot of hits. He's going to fall. Kenma, Zuna. Oh my god. Zuna going to go down. Tomster taking a lot of hits. Talking Tree's going to be able to finish that off. Frozen X is hot on the tail of Jason. And even though Morales is around and still alive, been completely out of mana for so long that has not been able to save.
I mean, that was an outright bloodbath. They were like, both teams just like agreed. They're like, this is Mortal Kombat. Like, we're just going in. Everybody's going to drop, like, at each other's throats. Astral Authority, they're not ready to go down in a loser's bracket. They're showing their stuff, and they're gonna need to continue to play at this level if they want to try to force Game 3.
That was just, I can't believe that they were able to just keep that team fight going, especially just because of how low Kenma was in terms of mana. I feel like, Naventic should have just stopped and said, all right, guys, we can't really get healed back up right now. We need to get out. But he's so low. We need to take this fight, right? Apparently you're not.
I mean, Jason... Talking Trees is standing right next to Jason. All right, I was about to say, is he really going to get the turn he's 21 in right in front of Talking Trees? Damage Strike is going to knock him back. That's a pretty valuable cooldown to spin when you have one of your front line right next to him with an auto attack range. So I wonder if that was the right way to go.
Now we're starting to see Battery rotate down here. It looks like they want to go for Kenma if they can. Jason going to get a really nice condemn. Going to ward away Equinox for now. Really low in health, at least. And I don't know if this is going to allow for Naventic to really get this turn in. Yeah, actually, no, it looks like it. Because they just were able to just kind of sustain through that, no problem. Really, Astral Authority took a lot of damage just trying to poke in there. And I think that was where they really lost that fight.
Yeah, I mean... Astral Authority were cheeky enough. They tried to pull that Mocus Feralis play wrapped around the side, but it got sniffed out. Once that was spotted, Equinox was caught too far forward. He had to back away or else he was going to go down. So if they can do it, if they can apply pressure to Kinma, they definitely stand to win these team fights. And, not looking good for the medic.
Lieutenant Morales gets destroyed, and that will lead to another really nice, like, kind of evening out of the Web Weaver push coming out. We saw this with Astral Authority. As soon as they got their turn in, they lost a couple of people. We're seeing this happen for Naventic on the return.
Swinging back the other way, both of these teams do have their heroics now, so these games and these team fights can be a lot more spicy. See the Blessed Shield. Medevac dropship, so we might see some cheese later on. Another big engagement. Power slide goes out on Zuna. Can they close out the kill there? Sundering for the big disrupt. Medevac gets back in a limousine in style to be able to start patching up Zuna. Battery on the ropes. Morales go. Oh, wow.
Morales just went away. Wait a minute. No, that wasn't Morales. That was actually Thrall. That was weird.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw that too. But we're going to see a huge fight go on, continuing on. We're seeing Kenma healing up his team so incredibly well. Astral Authority now really, really low. They have to disengage.
The Ghanaian cocktail. Oh, no! Kenma landing that grenade, throwing it in the back of the face of Sylvanas. I know he's like, all right, guys, I got out. It's cool.
Nobody expects the Morales to get a kill, but Morales just got a kill.
I mean, that grenade just sailed in slow motion, like, I'm dead, aren't I?
Grenade was singing to itself like, this is my moment. And it just, that's a day ruiner right there. We will see on the back of this Astral Authority trying to ward off these Siege Giants in the bot lane. Naventic keeping pretty good lockdown of the rest of the map. They're looking to get level 13, I think, for the time being, but for right now, they're just going to pick up the cruisers, get a little bit more of that push going on in the mid lane.
And, don't think I didn't see that, Kim. He put down both of his scouting drones in front of that bottom fort after he landed that grenade. Style points for real. Another engagement, though. Power slide does find its way to Kinma. A ton of damage goes down on Big Impact. He is going to get patched up by Morales. Sylvanas is deleted.
Battery going to be the next one to go next. Zuna is a fearsome beast on that Greymane. To be able to do a lot of damage here and just is responsible for those two deaths there on Astral Authority. It's going to allow for the Bruiser pickup, the Bruiser push. To probably grab this fort without too much contest.
Big Impact had next to no health. If they were able to get that kill on Lunar, we might be having a different conversation right now. Sham 2, but level 13 is picked up. 46 gems in the pockets of Naventic. Bruiser Camp is going to get snagged by Astral Authority, but this Web Weaver push could be real.
Yeah, it's going to be pretty harsh to deal with level 13 being in the advantage. I mean, level 13 is going to be just on the cusp here for Astral Authority, but for the time being, I mean, Naventic is just coming out on fire in this match, and they are doing really well in these team fights. 11-8 in the takedowns, though. This has been a bit of a slugfest.
Oh, absolutely. Kerrigan combination goes in on Kinma, battery wrapping around. Crystal Aegis has to get used, talking trees out front, trying to apply pressure to Zuna. Power slide goes in. Mosh pit lands on Morales. No heals for you. Johanna goes down first.
And yet again, we're going to see this happen. Thompson throws down to Sundering, trying to go into Frozen X. So much damage. Battery goes in with the power slide. They're able to eliminate Zuna. Kenma now on the retreat, trying to get on out of here. He's going to have to pop the medevac. And again, we see this. Somebody picks up the Web Weavers. Somebody loses a couple of team members as soon as they do.
Kenma calls down Grandpa's Buick to get out of the pretty sticky situation in the mid lane. No value to be had out of these Web Weavers. That's been a continuing and interesting trend. Next team that wins one of these team fights and gets the Web Weavers could definitely look to do some damage.
Especially with the Sylvanas on the team of Astral Authority. Always have to remember, anytime you're ahead, Sylvanas is able to just get so much siege value. And sometimes can even win games just because you had a Sylvanas.
Yeah, I mean, Astral Authority, they are in this game. It's 11 takedowns to 10. A barroom brawl, is how I would describe this. Level 13's picked up Giant Killer for Lunar, Burning Rage, Intensive Care. So it's going to be that much more difficult. No couples therapy, Giant Killer for Thrall as well. Unfettered Assault for Greymane.
Oh, now this is an interesting call. I don't know if I mean, they've got the damage. Holy crap, they are melting this. If they get this before Astral Authority even gets up there, Astral Authority not even thinking about it. They're like, this is, what? Like, that's exactly what probably just went on with Astral Authority's comp. They're like, there's no way they melted that quickly. They were just barely outside of what we just saw. We see Kenma using the medevac to get on out of there and actually hit almost broke.
Chrysler is able to get Kinma out of there. Talking Trees misses the Storm Bolt, gets the grenade in the back for his trouble. Red Web Weavers will be here, roaming across the map. Boss is going to negate that, get the last fort that Astral Authority has to defend. But with 16 around the corner, this is dicey for Astral Authority.
I feel like they need to go for this team fight really quickly, but the Sundering is going to disrupt so much. They're so incredibly low in health. They have not much of a hope in this team fight. Level 16 has been grabbed here by Naventic. Pretty ham. They're easily down. Yet another Zuna battery, so incredibly low. Zuna looking to go for it, gets the cocktail, is able to take him down, but also falls to the towers.
That's tough. That's tough, especially when Kinma has that much mana. Losing Greymane is going to take a lot of the push out of this. But the damage is done. 3 members on the side of Astral Authority taking down Murden and Ariel alone are not the most inspiring defense to consider. They're looking for the first keep of the game, presumably.
Yeah, it looks like this is going to be a tension point. They're trying to go for it, but at the same time, there's a good amount of damage coming in from Talking Trees and Dark Chimera. They are warded away by only 2 heroes. Talking Trees, though, showing no fear.
I mean, given the axe was picked up, I'm a little surprised Naventic really overstayed that long. I mean, losing Greymane's a lot of the reason why that went the way it did. After losing Greymane, I feel like it would have been safer just to head back. I mean, Astral Authority comes away with some experience. The top fort goes down.
Yeah, bottom and top fort actually went their way because of the Webweaver pickup. So the boss actually kind of got mitigated pretty heavily. Maybe Astral Authority actually even knew that was getting grabbed, and they're like, that's fine, we'll just grab the Webweavers, be able to defend it, go from there. This is a really back and forth match. 14-11 now in the takedowns.
This is what I love about Heroes of the Storm, man. It's completely competitive. These teams are even. 14 takedowns to 11. That last team fight did go in the way of Naventic, but like I said, Astral Authority going into that team fight with 16 that close was a risk. Didn't really pay off for them.
Yeah, that's always a really scary point is, you know, we have to try and fight before they get their level 16 talents, and then if the fight just goes a little bit not the right way, you're gonna lose a lot more than you thought.
Talking Trees throws in the Dwarf Toss. Tomster with the Jukes. Juke City's a real place. Zuna on the back end catches the Detainment Strike. Stunned for days. Unstoppable goes out on him. Equinox on the chase with the long-range leap. Kinma still hanging out in the back in full health.
They're going to try and take out Zuna, and that's going to be quite possible and happen. Tomster now trying to disengage. There's Equinox going right in. On to Tomster again. Gets the grasp into Blades, and that is going to be him getting eliminated. Kenma gets eliminated as well. During all of this, Sylvanas did fall, but big impact. Looks like it's going to be the next one to go down. Dark Chimera with the sweep and Talking Trees with the Stormbolt.
Next set of Web Weavers should be able to get picked up quite handily by Astral Authority off of a very nice team fight for them. Came at a cost, though. The one hero you don't want to lose in a situation like this is Sylvanas, and that's exactly who went down. If they were able to get this turn in quickly enough, they could have tried to mount a pretty serious offensive, being able to lock down their structures. That opportunity's not there now.
Oh my god, are they about to lose this keep to these recruits? They are doing a lot of damage. Talking Trees trying so desperately to keep it alive. But I think they definitely undervalued how much damage these cruisers were going to do. That is really close.
Equinox goes over there. I mean, that would have been pretty hilarious if that middle keep went down like that. But this is going to be big. This is the first time I believe either team is going to be able to push at all as 5. All 5 members will be here, presumably, once Lunara comes back up. But this could be a defining moment, Sham.
This is going to be a really hard moment here for Naventic because there's a Sylvanas on the enemy team. He's going to be able to lock down all their towers and stop the towers from defending themselves from this Web Weaver. At the same time, Naventic's doing a really good job of being able to melt it down pretty hard. There's going to be another grasp into Blade. Zuna taking a lot of damage. He's going to fall here. It looks like they're going to jump right back on Greymane, and that's going to be two down right now. Emma taking a lot of damage. It looks like Astral Authority gets 3 takedowns, and if they take out this keep quick enough, and without losing too much health, this might actually be 4.
Thrall and Lunar are going to have their work cut out for them trying to keep this one alive. Zuna stepped out front, showed his face, and got it promptly ripped off. And you're going to see Kenma go down as well. Johanna gets wrecked. Damage is going out on Big Impact. Mosh Pit locking down Thrall. He doesn't like that. He goes down. Crystal Aegis saves a member, Astral Authority.
Oh,
wow.
My god, the Crystal Aegis at the last second to keep Frozen X alive was so incredibly awesome. And it looks like Astral Authority, through some really great team fight there, is able to clinch out game number 2. The ace match is going to be what's coming out for us today. Ooh. Scary.
Man. Man, oh man. Jay Murray says Ken must crown Vic nowhere to be found. I like that that's catching on. I always try to come up with the name of some old car or something like that. I don't know why for the medevac, it just cracks me up. But what a way to end that game. Astral Authority has to be feeling pretty good about that. I hate to say it, Sham too, but Zuna was caught forward a few times there.
He was very aggressive with his position quite a bit. And Equinox, even when he wasn't that far forward, like Equinox jumped. Equinox made that an issue for Zuna. I really enjoyed that. I think that was a really good call to jump on Zuna instead of trying to go for Kenma. Generally, you'd think, okay, there's Morales. We need to jump and kill Morales. No. You need to make sure that Zuna is the person that needs to get eliminated if he's too far forward. You gotta get rid of the tunnel vision of kill the Morales. And that's what they did.
Another thing that Astral Authority did really well is they kind of baited the targeting of Kenma. Like, they started damaging one person, Safeguard would go on them, and then they immediately shifted fire over to another squishy. I don't know if that was a coordinated effort, but that's just kind of how it played out. Definitely helped them win that team fight towards the bottom right corner of the map. I'm wondering how Naventic is going to respond to this.
Me too. That was odd. I feel like a lot of Naventic's team fights were going really well, except for that very last one. But that was when I think they just jumped a little bit too far ahead. Equinox was able to get a great grasp into Blades and lock down 2 people that just allowed them to pretty much just melt them immediately. And as soon as that happens, I mean, you pretty much have given up on that team fight. And because they had Sylvanas, because they had the ability to lock down that keep, not take too much damage, and there was only 2 people left, even then, I thought that there was a possibility that Lunara and Thrall were going to be able to hold off that entire push. I thought that was going to be a definite. I was like, there's no way that you can push into a core with a Lunara and a Thrall right there and win. But that engagement, I think, was what really impressed me with Astral Authority.
I mean, great. Like, Thrall and Lunara almost did. Like, the members of Astral Authority are pretty low on health, all considered. So, you know, they definitely had a narrow margin to pull that off. But they did. The execution was there. Mm-hmm. I would feel pretty good about this if I was Astral Authority. I personally feel, Sham, too, that Naventic outdrafted themselves.
Yeah.
Taking Morales into Kerrigan ETC is, at best, a bold decision.
I don't even think it, like, I think the Morales wasn't even, like, the biggest issue. Like, it wasn't like, you know, Kenma kept getting caught out. It was Zuna just kept getting deleted. I think that was right.
It was. I would augment that.
Mm.
They outdrafted themselves by taking Morales into ETC Kerrigan. But then, on top of that, Astral Authority outdrafted them by taking Muradin last. Forcing Johanna to try to slow down that kind of assault is sometimes ambitious. Having, you know, Muradin being able to slow down at attack speed, your whole composition is so reliant on auto attack damage. It just seemed like there were like 3 big gotchas in that draft, and Astral Authority was able to capitalize on them.
All right, so now we've got game number 3. I can't believe we got to an ace match. We predicted like 65-35 for favor of Naventic. I kind of thought Naventic was going to do okay in that game, based on their draft. I honestly, man, you were right. You were right. I hate saying that. No, I'm kidding. That was a good draft, though. It was a really good draft from Astral Authority. They were able to use it very well.
Yeah, I mean, that Muradin pick was sensational. Like, I'm sure there was at least a moment where Naventic, they were like, oh, they took Muradin. Wasn't expecting that.
I wasn't expecting it either.
We're all auto attack damage.
Yeah.
Oh. So if I carry the X, divide by... Wait. So, I mean, it just was a big disadvantage for them.
Does anybody remember the quadratic formula? Plus or minus b squared... No. Negative b squared plus or minus the square root of 4... I don't remember. Worst
divided by equals game 3.
Equals game 3.
Is the ultimate punchline there. But game 3 will be on Dragonshire, a map that you enjoy personally, Sham, too. I'm a fan of it as well. I'm excited.
Me too. I think this is going to be where we see that endgame dominance come out from Naventic. If I had to put a button down on where I put Naventic, it's like late game decisions, except for that really weird decision on Sky Temple against changes. But other than that, you know, we've seen it time and time again. Naventic has pretty good late game decisions, I think. And I think if they take really good team fights as well, Naventic's MO, they should be able to rotate and do Dragonshire pretty well. But Astral Authority definitely put a pretty... I have to put mad props to Astral Authority after seeing that fight at the core. Like, the clutch save of Frozen X from Lunara's poison by throwing down the Aegis. And as soon as Aegis popped, they immediately got the Hope heal down. Mm-hmm. That impressed me so much. I think it's going to be a really good match.
I mean, one way or the other, yeah, I'm right there with you, man. It's going to be great. I feel like, overall, Naventic's technical ability has the edge over Astral Authority's. I think that's the reason why the game was as close as it was in game 2, like this last game we just saw. But Astral Authority's technical ability was probably the highest I've ever seen it in this game. Especially that team fight at the end. It was Naventic levels of focus fire and coordination. I would be concerned if I'm Naventic now because I've effectively given Astral Authority enough momentum to feel like they could take us out of this. Like, they could win this set. So I think we're going to see a very charged up Astral Authority. And I'm hoping that Naventic has the wherewithal to forget Game 2, get back to drafting in a way that best suits their strategies, try to take this serious.
Well, we're going to have to see in the draft how this is all going to go. Astral Authority drafted pretty clutch last time. Let's see what they do this time. Naventic bans out Ariel as the first pick. First ban. Astral Authority bans out Zool. First pick, Naventic Zagara.
Draft is moving around in a rather swift manner. Is this the first time we're seeing Zagara this afternoon?
Yes, it is.
Wow. So they let through the bug. First pick Naventic, Falstad, Murden are the selections. I would imagine this is going to be a Nidus Network game. Shame.
I'm kind of curious about that myself. I think that's a possibility, but man, if I had to put it down on Naventic, like, they love team fights. I can't imagine it not being Maw. And Maw is just so clutch for team fights.
Yeah, with the player specifically in mind, you're right. We probably will see Devouring Maw.
So we got Astral Authority picking up Falstad Murden. We're going to have that global pressure with Falstad. Awesome pickup. Murden was the great pickup last game. Why not do it again? Naventic responding with Thrall. Wow. Naventic just won laning.
Quite handily, no less. I was wondering if Naventic was going to go ETC. They were like, chances are probably low that you would go for Murden ETC again, but we're going to make for certain that that's not going to happen. So, Zagara, Thrall, ETC, early level engage, solo lane for real. Astral Authority, they're going to have to come up with something to win the back end of this draft.
Yeah. This is going to be really rough for them, I think, because Falstad's good, Murden's good, but they need some really decisive blows to the laning phase of Naventic. They need, I feel like, probably a roaming composition. I would probably expect to see Kerrigan, and Naventic might take this away right now. But if they pick up like a Kerrigan and a Toranda, and they can do the roaming composition to just take out Thrall and Zagara constantly, there it is. There's the Kerrigan ban. I knew it. They have to deny the ability for Astral Authority to roam, and Kerrigan is one of the number one people that can do it, and especially with Equinox on Astral Authority.
I think they identified that was a key element of why they're sitting here playing Game 3 right now. So they're going to ban Kerrigan out. Li Ming is the eyed option for Astral Authority. That'd be a generous amount of burst. When you take Falstad Murden early in a composition, you leave yourself to a very universal style. You can go in any direction. The potential downfall is that your enemy team gets the upper hand or the earlier jump at defining their composition. But Li Ming is a good way to bring that back.
Yeah, I feel like Li Ming is always really good on any map where the objective is a very large thing that stands at your gates. Just because I really enjoy seeing like Seeker Mirror Ball builds on those types of maps, because you can just sit there and just kind of wail away. You can melt the objective pretty quickly. And then you have the ability to just kind of be like that long-range harassment later on. But with Falstad already picked up, this might be a Calamity Li Ming. I'm not exactly sure. Rhaegar are going to be the last pickup here for Astral Authority. I'm still not seeing I'm not seeing what we were talking about. I'm not seeing their secret sauce in order to beat what Naventic's already picked up.
I can tell you what the secret sauce is. You ready, Sham, too? And I guess it largely depends on his last pick for Naventic.
Yeah.
And I might be a little biased. But if Astral Authority took Lily, I think they'd have... If they take Lily now, they've won the draft.
Yeah, I have to agree there. Sergeant Hammer again picked up with Brightwing. So now they go for Lily's uncle.
I was close.
Wow. So Chen, that's a pickup.
I mean, when you force Astral Authority's hand by picking up Zagara and Thrall early, the question does become, who do we have solo lane? Chen is one of the best options to do that. One of the few heroes that can reliably stand up to at least Zagara.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it.
I dig it.
I'm going back to the point that secondary support Lily might be the most slept on thing in this game right now. Lily is a beast solo laning. In a 1v1, it's very difficult to take Lily out. Her sustained healing makes her a menace on that front. She's no slouch on damage. Everybody on the side of Naventic is relying on auto attack damage. In these team fights, the sustain would have won the day. You avoid power slide, you avoid mosh pit, you hit Jug of 1,000 Cups, you win a team fight.
Yeah, but now think about Chen. All right, we broke down that Chen's really good at laning, but what Chen also has to offer is a barrel. Now look at Naventic. Look at a barrel. Look at Naventic. Look at a barrel. And how do you not see the potential of Thrall, Zagara, or Sergeant Hammer just being barrel, like pushed right back into Astral Authority, and then they can just melt whoever that is. Like, they have no counter to the barrel right now.
No, not really. I mean, it's a good. I'm not saying that Chen is a bad pick by any stretch of the imagination.
No. I know.
I get it. You can leave Chen to his own devices in the top lane, and so long as he doesn't overextend and he keeps an eye on the mini map, he's. Search said, don't say it. I'm just saying, man. Chen can do work here. I'm not trying to say anything other than that. Battery said Lily in the lobby. I'm just saying, you avoid mosh pit, you avoid power slide, sundering as well. Team fight starts. You pop jugs. You win the team. You just win the team fight in this.
I think I just dazed out for a couple of minutes there, and I was just like, I came back and my thought pattern was, is he still talking about Lily? He's still talking about Lily.
I'm still talking about Lily.
Lily Train 2016.
I'm just saying, man. Just food for thought. Think about it, sports fans. Just think about it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into the ace match here. Spawning over here on the left-hand side. In the blue, it's Astral Authority. Battery on Chen. That is really cool synergy. Battery on Chen. Frozen X on the Falstad. Equinox playing Muradin. Talking Trees on Li Ming. And Dark Chimera playing Rhaegar.
Over on the right, we're going to have Team Naventic Zuna on Sergeant Hammer. Tomster's playing Thrall. Jason's playing ETC. Kenma on Brightwing. And call me Biggie. He's on Zagara.
Brightwing level 1 talent.
The dream.
The dream.
The dream.
Pixie Charm picked up by Brightwing. Recently changed. Each time you heal an allied hero with Soothing Mist, you gain a stack of Bribe.
I think that's going to have huge implications, especially mid to late game. If he saves those Bribe stacks for the perfect moment, he's like, this is when I do my slow clap. This is when I stand up. This is it. If he waits for that right time, it can win the game.
I think so as well. And that's what's really important on a map like this. Like, if you can force your enemy to rotate to deal with mercenaries, that can end the game of musical chairs. That is also known as Dragonshire.
A 1-4 rotation, a little bit split are the members of Naventic. Jason power slides away, avoids the orb. Stalemate of sorts going on in the top lane. Battery has full health. He's going to be able to chug for days. It's going to be tough for Big Impact to crack through that panda.
Equinox taking a lot of damage. That's going to be the first takedown of the game. Naventic coming out on fire in the bottom lane.
Tough times. Minute 17, you lose the, you drop a hero right at the start of the shrine phase. Definitely going to give Naventic the leg up. Tomster's waiting in the bush, seeing if anyone dares step too far forward. Sees that no one's playing his game, he rotates them.
This is really good rotations, I think, from both sides. You can already see the inevitable battle of Zagara versus Chen, but ooh, Frozen X coming in with a fly, going straight in onto Big Impact. Big Impact is in a dilly of a pickle here. Gonna try and disengage. Will be actually able to. That was a very close moment there.
Now, Big Impact got out of there alive, but I was like, did he forget what side, like, what side he's on?
Why is he going left? Wait a minute. Why is he all the way left?
I mean, he was the definition of forward. Frozen X flies in, but Brightwing Kenma is able to get his teammate out of there. Stormbolt lands in the bot lane on ETC. Jason getting poked back. Magic missiles go in. Gives Dark Chimera time to get this bottom shrine.
Gotta say, Naventic is playing pretty well right now. I mean, they've got the laning potential to go down. Jason taking a lot of damage, though, with the Dwarf Toss and engagement. Looks like he was going to go down, but he did not. Instead, it's going to be Zuna falling on Sergeant Hammer.
Man, oh man. Zuna, that's not the kind of tank that can really stick out there that far, unfortunately.
He doesn't get a tanks anymore.
So that's the first takedown for Astral Authority. Equinox serving as a proper front line. Dark Chimera back again after Hearth back. Both shrines are in possession of Astral Authority. Jason has to power slide away. I think this is the first Dragonite.
Oh my god, that was so close. Kenma in the bottom lane as Brightwing was trying to get the channel on the shrine. Not going to happen, though. You can already see Zuna popping into siege mode to try and deal with the trees. Trees doing the right thing, disengaging here. But they actually also get the takedown in the top lane. Big E, once again, very forward.
That's something you got to worry about if you're on the side of Naventic. You got to respect Falstad's ability to fly, but Panda, poor Panda.
It was an unbearable loss. Definitely a grisly end.
Oh, man. I mean, they got a pretty decent amount of value out of that. They got a kill. You know, they got some pressure in the mid lane. Level 7 talent. They have a small window where they have the tier advantage. No one really in a position to capitalize on that. Looking at the talents, we got Cleanse. Dominance and Power Hungry, so Li Ming wants to sustain. A lot of action mid, though.
Yeah, Talking Tree is taking a lot of damage. Some really good body blocking coming out here from Dark Chimera to keep him alive for a little bit longer. Zuna comes in with the boop, and that's going to be the end of Talking Trees' Li Ming. Equinox now trying to go for the engagement on Zuna. Does get the reverberation on and cuts out a lot of that auto attack damage, but not enough. They feel comfy with continuing that team fight. They back on up here.
Dark Chimera was very heads up about moving over to the left because he very well could have body blocked Equinox to his death. You're going to see Jason and Kenma rotate down. Zuna's pushing up this lane. They already got one of the towers. Not too many shots on the other one. Looking to get some value here.
Where we're starting to see some really good work coming out here from Naventic. As soon as they get a little bit of an edge in terms of this match, they can immediately start sieging up these towers, being aggressive. See the damage on the bottom lane. Big E doesn't really have the ability to really kind of keep pressuring on batteries, like trying to do what he can, but battery at the event just stays alive for so long. But that's okay. All they need to do is enable that bottom lane to push.
I mean, battery's damage sustained numbers are going to be off the charts by the end of this. He's just standing there in front of his guard like, I'm just going to press the D key and sip my coffee. Like, I'm not going down, so we're just going to be here for a while. Grab a Snickers.
So
Rotate.
that's where it's going to be really useful, that the fact that they've got these bruisers, though, right? Because now you just have this person like Chen who's going to be able to sit here and just keep wailing away. You have bruisers that take a lot of damage as well. Just even though the guard does a lot of damage, not so much anymore. She took a lot of nerfs, you know, and her damage isn't quite there. And you can see just how easy it is now for Chen to just handle Zagara's damage. Wasn't always like that, I don't think.
No, especially after the rework, it was definitely a whale of a time. You're going to see Stormbolt go down on Kenma. Heroic's not here. No Emerald Wind to speak of. Right wing gets their wings clipped.
Speaking of wings, we're going to see Frozen X use the fly to go straight up into the Dragon Knight Shrine, and that is going to be the second Dragon Knight of the game. Astral Authority is playing so incredibly well here.
They've been crisp. In that bottom lane team fight, they focused Jason pretty heavily. I think if they switch fire to a squishier target, they might have been able to come away with 2 kills. But they can't complain with how this game's gone so far. 2 Dragon Knights in a row, rotating towards top, looking to apply pressure.
This is the great thing about the Dragon Knight, is you can use it both as a way to group your entire team together or create pressure across the map and do a split, and that's exactly what Naventic's doing. Oh, sorry, that's exactly what Astral Authority is doing. They're creating the threat of the Dragon Knight to try and draw people away from top lane. Naventic's going to be a little bit too wise to that, though. They're going to come and try and force away this push coming in from Astral Authority, but meanwhile, Dragon Knight's like, alright, I'll just go do a whole bunch of damage to mid lane.
No big deal, no big deal. Frozen X applying damage to Zuna. Eating tower shots for his trouble, just avoids the power slide. Dark Chimera jumping in, Frozen X rotates around, Mosh Pit goes in, and there's the barrel.
And they're going to press C or R twice, do a barrel roll, pushes Jason right back into the middle of their team, do a lot of damage. Clem's coming down on Jason. A little bit misplaced, but that's okay. They keep Jason alive, and that's what's important here. Equinox now keeping that pressure alive, being the tank in the front. They get the middle fort.
Another victory for Astral Authority. If they keep at this pace, they do stand to take this set. The Naventic are really going to have to rally, find a different way to approach these team fights. They have tools. They have ETC. Power Slide pretty much says, we're starting to fight when we want to.
Yeah.
They have Sundering for a follow-up. I think the key of it is Zuna continues to get caught forward.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a meme. I hate to say it. I know.
You know, memes happen because they happen a lot, right? Like, that's the definition of a meme, like something that happens enough that it becomes a joke. He's been dying a lot, and it's difficult to go into a team fight when you're already either chunked or missing a team member. Astral Authority pushing in this bottom lane, doing a lot of damage. Bruises with them, able to do a lot of damage. Meanwhile, same time, Naventic pushing the top lane. 5 heroes here to do that, though.
It's a huge push from Naventic. They do get a fort. Overall, though, on this map, that's not the most favorable of trades. You seldom ever see a team try to win a game through the top lane on Dragonshire, but you see it often enough in the bot lane.
Yeah, the bottom lane, I think, is always the more pivotal lane. Because you're right, top lane, you know why? You got that Murder Bridge, man. You cannot fight on Murder Bridge. There's a reason it's called Murder Bridge. It's not actually called Murder Bridge, but I call it Murder Bridge, and there's a reason. Because as soon as you take a team fight there, everybody dies.
Yeah, I mean, you put yourself on one of those tight corridors, you're going to have a rough time. Face melt on Equinox. Two tanks just kind of slapping each other. Not too much action. Power Slide goes in. They're going to focus on Equinox. Polymorph goes down. Big engagement, Sham.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty big fight. Equinox taking a lot of damage, a lot of giant killers coming out there for the side of Naventic. So, while Avatar is great, it's actually not going to be that effective in this game. Equinox, though, yet again, taking a lot of damage, does have to get the Ancestral Healing to stay alive for a little bit longer. He's taking a good amount of damage, but they don't have their Chen. Chen's up in the top lane, so they just disengage. They take a lot of that damage. They kind of grit their teeth through it, and that's perfectly fine, because Chen's able to do a lot of work in the top lane. And eventually,
I mean,
okay. Wanted to probably take down.
Kind of broke up there on me a little bit at the tail end, but here comes Chen. Power Slide goes in, 3 members mosh pit it, barrel breaks that up. Jason on the towers eating some shots. Root, Polymorph on Rhaegar, Dark Chimera explodes. You're going to see ETC on the counter kill, though. The chase continues for more members of Naventic.
And this is almost going to be a 5-hero wipe here, possibly. The only person left here is Tomster. Talking Trees getting a lot of work out of that Calamity build, and that is going to be Tomster falling. All 5 members of Naventic go down.
Ace. I mean, this is going to be another Dragon Knight. Death timers aren't too long, though, so the majority of their members should be back to make an effective stand against this bad boy at 11 minutes. It's not the, the one-punch man that it is 5-10 minutes from now. So Naventic does have that going for him.
You're right, and so we're going to have to see how they defend this. They already have most of their team members running down to immediately where the Dragon Knight is, where you can see Talking Trees as well as Dark Chimera kind of walking around the map, looking like they just want to run around and kind of pick up a lot of experience, get these lanes pushing. Level 16 also in their favor, too, so this is a really scary moment.
Yeah, I'm surprised they wouldn't want to split up that much. Frozen X does fly down. Talking Trees in position out. Another barrel. Sham2, you spoke of this thing's value. Look at this bad boy work.
Oh my god, and this is exactly what Pepe was talking about when when you were playing Star Fox. He's like, press Z or R twice, it will save your life. You see that barrel roll come in. It is doing so much work here. Equinox now able to go straight on to keep battery. Just staying in the middle of Team Naventic. Equinox now has to pop Avatar, trying to do as much damage to this keep. They can get this keep. This is going to enable so much, but the Maw hitting 4 people.
That is absolutely huge. Thrall gets erased. ETC. Oh no, that was a Rhaegar and Falstad go down. Talking trees. Battery is able to flip over the wall. It only takes one Devouring Maw. That was a big one.
That was a really good one for them, and that saved that entire engagement. That saved that keep. That put Naventic back in this game.
Oh, for sure. 4 members alive, rocking and rolling in the bot lane. They want this bottom fort. They're going to get this for free. I'm wondering if we're going to see some bribe shenanigans show up now.
Me too. I actually haven't really been paying attention to whether or not these have been used quite often.
I think it would be a logical choice if they were available. Kenma is teleporting, goes over, joins Big Impact, call me Biggie. And there we go. See some coins spent. Takes down 2, makes it really easy to get this Bruiser kill.
Yep, and so that's going to be Bruisers in the bot, Bruisers in the top. It's going to match up with Astral Authority's Bruisers, though. So it's not going to be a huge win. But still getting a little bit more of that map control is exactly what Naventic wants right now. They need to have that because we're going into another set of shrines. They can't let all of the Dragon Knights go over to Astral Authority.
As this game goes on and on, it's only going to do more and more damage. They're going to find themselves with fewer options to try to turn this thing around. They're down at full level. Storm tier talents are not available for either team. You're going to see lion's share of the members of Astral Authority. All 5 rotate down towards bot to apply some pressure, push the siege camp up. Shrine phase activates.
The good news here is that Naventic's got Kenma all the way in the top lane, able to just grab that shrine for them perfectly easily, and is able to teleport on out of there as soon as he feels a little bit scared. This is going to be a little bit of musical chairs for a bit, I think. We're already seeing Brightwing, teleport right over to the rest of her team, and that's going to be, this is where it's going to be an awkward spot because both these teams don't really have a massive advantage over the other. Mm-hmm. But here's the thing. As soon as Naventic gets pushed out of bottom, this is going to be it's going to allow for Astral Authority to kind of just walk in and take away that keep. So if Naventic ever rotates top, they can't actually. They just can't rotate top at all, because that will just allow Astral Authority to get that. But that team fight going really poorly for the beginning of Astral Authority. Equinox getting completely chunked down. Does get the ancestor feeling in the last.
Battery with the barrel roll, saving his teammate, but it might cost him his life. He jumps over, not able to get out. First takedown of the fight. Equinox forward, throws down his W, is able to dwarf toss out of there. Zunma and the crew looking to push up this bottom lane, and why not? We don't have to worry about the barrel for the moment. This is a big moment for them.
This is a huge moment with the Siege Giant as well, and a Siege Tank. They're able to do a lot of damage. This could potentially be a keep. If they keep this push, they keep this pressure alive. It's a very difficult spot, especially when you have Talking Trees able to just throw away so many arcane orbs at this point.
Yeah, Talking Trees on Li Ming is pivotal in this team fight. Can they keep this bottom 4? Power Slide goes in. The root follow-up. Shin gets deleted.
Naventic doing a lot of work here. This is going to be pretty good, and I think this actually might be keep. Talking Trees has to disengage for a little bit, push himself back. Mighty Gust coming in. They're just giving enough time for Chen to get up. I don't know, though. This is getting really close. I think this is going to be a keep.
Chen is up. He does have barrel. They could look to pull some cheekiness off. They do get the bottom keep. First keep of the game for Naventic for the game. Bottom shrine already in possession of Naventic. You're going to see 4 members rotating back. Rotation from Astral Authority. You want to make sure they hold down this top shrine.
Yeah, this is a really interesting decision for all 4 members to go to a shrine that they already have. But I guess they want to make sure they have to just forfeit as much as they can right now. So they're thinking, all right, if Naventic comes up here at all, we will at least get a bush gank, possibly turn this into a 4v4 immediately. But for now, we have to let Naventic just push. We have no way to challenge them.
They're gonna have to play musical shrines for the moment. I mean, level 20 is not too far off. Astral Authority, from a strategy standpoint, really only had anything to lose out of that progression. I mean, their deaths were still staggered out. Rotating towards top just exposed that middle force. So Naventic were like, well, why not just set up the push on the keep if we can get it for free? So that's exactly what they did.
The good news is both these teams have that level 20 now. But, ooh, Jason coming in with the power slide. Is this going to be a mosh pit is the question here. Battery and Equinox trying to deal with that. Here comes the big fight. Thompson taking a lot of damage. Equinox going pretty deep. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to get a pick, though. Maw not connecting with as much as they did in that one fight that they needed. And Thompson taking a little bit of damage, but he actually gets healed back up. It's almost a stalemate.
Bolt of the Storm saving his neck for sure. He is able to get out of there. Equinox rotates around. Battery starting to chug. Gets his shield up. Orb hits Jason. Power slide goes in on Chin. Can he body block the stun? The polymorph. The focus fire. Jason starts to back away. Barrel comes out. Here we go, Sham.
Here we go. Zuna really far forward. Is the barrel going to be able to do that much work? No, the mosh pit actually is able to catch a lot of Astral Authority. There's a disengage with the Mighty Gust, but can they actually take down Jason? That's the question here. Because he's able to do so much here, but he does disengage, and that's going to be Chen falling as well. This is going to be 5 members of Naventic up. They pick up the DK at 18 minutes. This DK is going to be able to do a lot of work. In fact, they actually might be able to end here. 2 members down here for Astral Authority. Is Naventic about to clutch up the series?
Could be. I mean, Falstad and Li Ming are going to have to make the plays of their life to pull this off. But Mernon getting melted like butter isn't going to help matters. Li Ming goes down as well, and that's ballgame, kids.
That's it. I can't believe that just happened. That was an incredible game. With Naventic taking the back seat for so long, we thought Astral Authority was going to be able to clinch out this series, no problem. But Naventic comes back. Late game. What did I talk about? What did I say?
That was an impressive